Welcome to Yoga Therapy. I am Patricia Hilliard, and I became a yoga instructor studying under Swami Satchidananda in 1975. And in later years, I became a yoga therapist in 2008. So let's begin. My classes involve all the foundations of yoga therapy. So we start with a mudra. And a mudra is simply a hand gesture where we connect different fingers, and the energy, the prana flows to different organs in different parts of the body. So the mudra we're going to do today is called Prithvi mudra, and we take our thumb and just lightly touch the tip of the ring finger and let the backs of the hands rest on the knees. And this one is a very good stress relief. It's good for lowering blood pressure. So if you will come into your seat, whatever your comfortable seat is and wherever you need to place your hands, and begin to close your eyes and begin to breathe. Begin to witness the body breathing. So nice, deep, full body yogic breaths as you begin to let the breath to align the spine. So as you breathe in, the breath we're going to be doing during most of the class is called Ujjayi breath. It's the sound of the ocean where you just partially close the throat to make that little hissing sound, and it strengthens the immune system, it alkalizes the body, and it calms the nervous system. So as you breathe, just partially close the body and breathe nice and deep, and notice where the breath goes when you breathe in. Let there be a little pause at the top of the breath. And then notice where the body softens. The exhale is a natural tranquilizer for the body. So notice where the exhale softens the body. Let's bring our attention to our pelvis. Feel the two sitting bones underneath you that are supporting your foundation. And just kind of wiggle just a teeny bit so you can feel how you're supported by the earth. And to bring the pelvis into a neutral place, so the top of the crest is in the center, just barely lift the tailbone. Just barely lift it. And you'll notice the curves, the four natural curves in the body. You'll especially notice the lumbar, the low back curve. Maybe as you exhale, make a little sigh to release any tension that needs to be released. Sound is good. And then let the breath naturally move, naturally rock the pelvis, just slightly. Just notice the breath slightly moving the body. And let's bring our attention to our spine. Let's create elongation in the spine. Let's create space in between each vertebra. So if you pretend like there's a cord at the very back of the skull, and let it lift you up, you can feel the spine lifting away from the sacrum, which is at the base of the spine. And feel the spine becoming spacious and all the nerve endings becoming free. Deep, full body, Ujjayi breath, the healing sound of the ocean. And then bring your attention to your shoulder blades and let those shoulder blades descend down behind you. So the heart opens and the sternum lifts, supporting your alignment. Let the face smile. Invite the smile to stay on the face throughout this day. Let all the skin soften on the face and the jaw soften and the eyes float. And just be with your breath. Let's begin by taking a nice deep breath in. We're going to begin with 3 ohms, creating the sound, different variations at different tones. Take a deep breath in through the nose, and then take a long exhalation, emptying the lungs completely. Take another in-breath and begin your 3 sounds, whatever sound you wish. Be still. As you release your Prithvi Mudra, bring the palms together in front of the heart for prayer hands. Bring the elbows forward and let the forearms be parallel to the earth, and press the heels of the hands in to each other and feel the massage in the back of the heart. This mudra is called Anjali Mudra, and it activates the circulatory system and the digestive system. And in this quiet place, create an intention, something personal or something universal. And breathe it in with 3 deep breaths, bringing it to every cell in your being. And as you exhale, release your mudra. Keep your spine tall and spacious. And start to release the legs. Let the legs come forward and stay internally. Stay in this universe inside of you. Feel the prana starting to move into the joints. If you have any cushion or anything underneath you, you might remove it right now. And we always start every class with a lymph massage. The lymph system is the most important system to yoga. So we have around 700 lymph nodes in our body, so we're going to deep breathe. That's what gets the lymph nodes decongested, and they're all over our body. So we're going to start always massaging with a deep breath, starting at the foot, and it's a 20-second massage. Massaging up, breathing deep, and tapping it to the heart, because the circulatory system detoxes as you bring the congestion to the heart. So we're going to do all the limbs of the body. It's something I do every morning when I wake up. It helps me walk better when I get out of bed. And the skull, there's lymph nodes all throughout our body. 50% of them are in our groin and our armpits, but a lot of them are in our belly. That's what creates a lot of the belly fat. So, when you're finished, let's come into a comfortable seat. So a comfortable seat could be legs out. It could be Sukhasana, and it could be any form of Sukhasana, but notice what happens inside. When one leg is forward, you feel a little bit different stretch in the hips when you put the other leg forward. So at any time, if you need to switch legs to balance, please do. So come into whatever your comfortable seat is. It can be anything. And we're going to put our hands on our knees, and there's 4 movements of the spine. And even though we have movements of all the joints, the movements of the spine are most important because they release nourishment to the brain. So we're going to start with the flexion, which is the spine bending forward, and the extension, which is the spine bending backwards. So place the hands on the knees, And lengthen up. Just close your eyes a minute and take a couple deep breaths. Keep that smile on your face so that all the cells in your bodies smile. And lengthen up. Keep that tailbone slightly lifted so the hips are in their neutral place. Take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to tuck the tail and start to do a little pelvic rock. And as we inhale, we're going to lift the tailbone, so we do the extension. This is called cat-cow, and we do it in a seated position. We do it in many positions. So as we exhale, we come into the flexion of the spine, tucking the tail, and maybe even rounding the shoulders forward and bringing the chin towards the chest. And as we inhale, slowly, and we always start at the base of the spine and come up one vertebra at a time. And let the spine extend. And always pause at the top of each breath and at the bottom of each breath so you notice. So continue with your breath. And the breath begins and the movement follows. The breath moves the body. And wherever you're at, come to your neutral place. Elongate the spine. Let it get a little taller. And let's put our hands out to the side. We have lateral flexion, which is sideways. So from side to side. So the hands are, the tips of the fingers are just barely touching. Let the arms be relaxed. And keep the pelvis in its neutral place. Keep the spine tall. Keep the smile present. And then take a deep breath in the center position. And as you exhale, let's lift the right hand and bring it up. And keep the sitting bones grounded as you round that right arm over the head. Reach the fingers to the left and ground the right sitting bone into the earth. And let's breathe a couple breaths in with this crescent moon. The shape of the spine is a crescent moon. And breathe nice and deep. Now take a deep breath in as you slowly bring that hand back. Let the fingertips touch. Stay in the moment. Take about 2 to 3 seconds to notice how that prana starts to circulate. And then the next exhale, let's lift the opposite arm. Root down. If you're lifting the left arm, root down through the left sitting bone and reach over. Bring that left shoulder back. Bring the right shoulder back. Bring the elbow on top slightly back. So it's truly a lateral flexion. And then take an inhale, come back. Now we're going to let the breath take us back and forth a couple times. So the inhale is in the center and the exhale is flexing to one side. So whichever side you're flexing to, whenever you feel the sitting bone lifted, root it in the earth as if it's rooting deep into the earth. Let the inhale take you back. And the exhale, opposite side. So move slowly with awareness, keeping the spine tall and spacious. And when you come back wherever you are, it doesn't matter if you've done each side equally. Just bring your hands back to your knees. Keep your spine tall. Keep your pelvis neutral. And feel the effects. Feel the effects of this gentle therapeutic movement as it lets the prana distribute throughout the body. So let's take our hands and walk our hands forward and start to come forward into a forward bend. And just release the shoulders. Let gravity take you a little deeper into the earth. And just breathe a couple of deep breaths. And then walk even further and come all the way to your knees if you can't. And if that doesn't work for you, come to all fours however you can. You can come up and we're going to come to all fours. So Notice your shoulders when you're bearing your weight on your hands, and if your shoulders are overcompensating, turn your fingers out a little bit. And we're going to just do a cat-cow in our table pose. So take an exhale and start a nice long exhalation. And let the nice high cat pose. And then as you inhale, always starting at the base of the spine, and let that belly soften down. Let gravity take the belly a little bit into your extension. One more. Take another in-breath. Always start when you're moving into cat and when you're moving into cow. Start at the base of the spine. Move one vertebra at a time. Come back into your neutral place. And let's do our lateral flexion from this position. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, lift the left foot, look around the top of the left shoulder until you see that foot in the air, until you make a crescent moon with the spine. And as you inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, lift the opposite foot. Look around the top of that shoulder till you see the foot in the air, feel the crescent moon, and come back to center. But one more time to each side. And then come back to center. And for I didn't do the twist when I was doing the seated. So we're going to do a twist here in our table pose. So come back to center, into table, get the palms of the hands under the armpits, the knees under the hips. And we're going to take the right hand and we're going to thread the needle under the left arm and slowly send it over to the left until the shoulder or the head. If you need a pillow to support you, you can use a pillow. And then we're going to take the left arm, reach it up, and so we have an internal rotation in this left shoulder. We're going to put the back of the hand on the right blue jean pocket if you had a pair of blue jeans on. And just breathe, couple breaths. And then lift that arm again, put that left palm down on your mat, press into the earth as you unthread the needle. And let's do the other side. So bring your awareness to your left hand, thread it underneath the right arm, send it over to the right until the shoulder and the head comes to the earth. Lift up that right arm, reach up, put the back of the hand on the hip, left blue jean pocket, breathe. Or however it feels comfortable for you. And then take the palm of the hand, place it back down on the earth, press into the earth to take you out. And let's come back into your table. Send your hips back to your feet and find your favorite child's pose for just a couple breaths. And notice the effects. Notice all the prana that's being distributed. We have 5 directions of winds in the body, and we've opened up most of the directions of winds with these simple movements. So your child's pose can be out forward, it can be arms to the side, it can just be hands stacked. And then slowly come up, one vertebra at a time. And then we're going to come down to the mat. You're going to make a nest. We're going to have a very short yoga nidra. So I'm going to be sitting as I guide you through this tensing and tightening. And I would like for you to make a nest. You're going to be on your back in Shavasana. I would like for you to turn your palms up. When you turn your palms up, notice how the ribs open more and the breath is deeper. Get your feet separated at least to the edges of the mat. Feel the space that you make in your hips when your when your feet are separated a little wider. And let the shoulder blades melt. Just imagine the hands of Mother Earth underneath your shoulder blades, and let the outside edges of the shoulder blades just melt into her loving hands. Now bring your attention to your arms and stretch your fingers as wide as you can and stretch your arms, both arms. Now make a tight fist and tighten all the muscles in both arms, and as you inhale, lift the arms up off the floor just an inch or two, tighten as tight as you can, and then release it back down to the floor. Roll the arms from side to side. And now just let them float away into space. Bring your awareness to your legs. Point your toes. And so you feel the energy on the tops of the fronts of the legs. And then flex your feet. Bring your toes towards your knees and press out through your heels. And then release. Curl your toes under. Let your feet be neutral. Engage all the muscles in both legs. So hug all those muscles to your bones. Lift up both legs an inch or two off the floor and engage as tight as you can. And then release it down. Release it down. Roll the legs from side to side. And let them float away. And now let's bring our awareness to our abdomen. And take a deep breath in through the nose, bloating up the abdomen like there's a big balloon inside. Hold your breath. Now open the mouth and just gush all the air out and feel how the entire abdomen is softened. Bring the awareness to the ribs. Take an in-breath and fill up just the rib cage. Take another sip of air, hold it. Open the mouth and gush out that air. Feel each rib floating. Now come to the face. We're going to do a little yoga facelift. So keep the eyes closed, stick the tongue out, stretch the tongue as far towards the ceiling as you can. And then stretch it towards the chin. And then bring the tongue in and pucker up the lips as if you're going to kiss the tip of the nose. So every facial muscle is moving towards the tip of the nose, tight. And then release. Close the eyes nice and tight. Crunch up the nose at the same time. Smile the face as big as you can smile. And soften. Roll the head from side to side. And let it go. Return to center. And just float. When you're ready to come back, take a deep breath in. Start to awaken the body. Start to move the body. And when you're ready, bring the knees up to the chest. Wrap the arms around the knees and roll from side to side, massaging the back body a little bit. And then roll all the way over onto your right side. Support your head, support your alignment with your arm. And just feel, just take a deep breath in, bring it in that healing energy that Mother Earth provides us with. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly peel up off the earth. You're going to come back to your upright position, your seat, whatever is comfortable for you, and you're going to slowly come up. Head comes up last. Find your seat. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Take a deep breath in. Take a long exhale out. Take another in-breath and close with one sound. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all of creation be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.